following presentation is for educational purposes only. All of the symbols, trading ideas, and live trading are for demonstrational purposes and are not recommendations or trading advice. Past performance may not be indicative of future results. All of the information and opinions expressed by third-party guests are their own and are not necessarily those of NinjaTrader LLC. Trading futures involve substantial risk and may not be suitable for everyone, and trading futures can result in losses greater than the initial required margin. Traders should only trade futures with risk capital. Risk capital is money that you can afford to lose without jeopardizing your financial security or current lifestyle. You can find additional disclosure information on the NinjaTrader website.
Hey, good morning, everybody. I'm going to be here with Burak Kaplan today to talk about some technical analysis. Really excited to have him. Burak, how you doing today?
Hi, thank you. Thanks for having me. I'm doing well, thank you.
Absolutely. Really excited to go through this. Burak just recently joined the NinjaTrader vendor program. Thought it would be a great opportunity to go over some technical analysis with him, as that's kind of his specialty. So, Burak, how about we just give the people a little bit of an introduction here? Give us a little background of your background here and where you're from, how you got into trading, and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, I'm based in London, UK. My name is Burak, and I'm at tradingchannels.uk. And also, I'm quite active on X, handle trading channels again, Instagram, YouTube, etc. So trading channels has been around since 2013, but I started my journey way before that, around 2009. And I'm an aerospace engineer from trade with a PhD in air engine design. Well, which was a long time ago, but I did that. And yeah, I worked in aerospace and then energy industry for about 17 years. But actually, the journey of trading started in 2009. I started basically quite a few methods that were not really my thing. I tried all those sorts of, like oscillators, indicators, even Elliott wave. But then me being an engineer, I thought I should basically look into the inner working of things, and a bit of an analytical method, but mainly I like the visual things. I like the things that are more visual rather than basically more of an anticipatory things. So I thought, obviously, meanwhile, I was reading tons of books and scrolling through websites, etc. But then finally, I thought, these lines kind of started working for me, but it took, of course, probably like 4 or 5 years before it started working for me. And trading channels, of course, comes from channels, basically trend channels, which I'll give a few examples. They're not only channels, they are not only trend channels. So they are, I use lines mainly to look at trend channels, but also standalone supports, resistance lines. And with different colors, as you can see in this particular example, and every formation is an independent, let's say, independent from each other. So the basic idea is that when we have a trend, let's say uptrend, and we have a pullback, I try to find out how and where this market is going to keep on going, and where we can find, let's say, a double support or a triple support, where we can have the breakouts. And it's usually, as I said, because it's visual, it gives me a better, let's say, risk control. So it's like if the lines match at a double or triple support, and that support holds and the market agrees with me, then obviously the risk control is, if the market later on breaks that support level, I would be out of the position. It's not a holy grail. It's more of a kind of an kind of twisting the probability in my favor, turning the probability in my favor. So that's why it's called trading channels. It started with channels, but also I added a lot of things on top. I don't use any of the indicators, oscillators, Fibonacci's, or elite wave, and some people may combine these lines. Of course, I have members at trading channels. Some of them combine this, like my lines, with other things. As I said, oscillators, indicators, whatever. But I would like to make or keep things rather simple. Not very simple, but try to keep it simple. My main methodology or motto is that I don't have to know what the market is going to do all the time. I pick my battles. That's why I cover a lot of markets, indices, commodities, forex, cryptos, agricultural commodities, etc. Whenever I find these setups that I can, that is to my advantage, then I try, let's say, take that trade. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But it's kind of I have let's say the probability when it's in my favor. That's what the lines are about.
I think it's important. I mean, obviously technical analysis is kind of not a basic thing, but going to support and resistance levels is probably one of the very first things that is probably taught in technical analysis, and being able to find those points of resistance and support.
Yes.
So, maybe I think a good little thing here, you want to kind of just well, first off, I do have a question for you. Do the colors signify anything like on these charts? Is there like a long-term, short-term, or is it just to have a different visual appeal to different trends?
They don't, but there is no color coding, but every color on its own is a different formation. So let's say on this particular example, the red one is a little bull flag here, and the black one we broke up yesterday, and the green one was a standalone resistance right about here, and we broke it, back tested. So the green one or the black one or the red one, they are very independent from each other. But ideally, I would like to find kind of, which let me give you an example on DAX very recently. So this was, I think, one of the best examples that I can show. So when it was, after it had broken this resistance, that blue sideways resistance, right? Then we came down, back tested it several times. And while it's doing that, I was, of course, hoping for this blue support to hold. But also, I was looking into this red sideways channel, okay, which is very independent, entirely independent from the blue one. So on its own, it was a potential bull flag, and its bottom band had to be right here, and it had to confirm with a second touch on its bottom band, together with the blue. But not only that, this became also a triple support, because while it was coming down, this is where it bottomed out in August. So we had two touches on the top, and we had one touch here. And so I was hoping, and I was expecting that we would get a touch on the golden bottom band here, together with the red and the blue, and that makes it a kind of a triple support. And from here, the moment it bounced, it kind of confirmed it as a triple support. The expectation was there, but the market has to agree with me to say, okay, this now has become a triple support. Then after that, as you can see here, the rest is very clear. We went to the red top band and basically cleared that bull flag, and it rallied, kept on rallying. So my suggestion here now is that it stays inside this black uptrend, and then we would be able to basically, ride the wave. And as long as the target is as a simple target as the golden top band, if it stays inside this black uptrend. These are all, this is formed based on very specific rules. So I'm not really making lines up, but it's more of I have a few rules that I follow. And as long as they fit those rules, I'll take the trades. If they don't, and if market doesn't agree, I get out, or I don't even take the trade.
So, okay, so perfect. So I guess my next question then would be for you here. So, at what point are you looking to get into that trade? We obviously see that kind of consolidation or sideways trend, if
Yeah.
you will, moving.
Mm-hmm.
At what point are you kind of looking that, you know, are you're in anticipation of that kind of
That's right.
triple? Yeah, so you're anticipating that, and then kind of, I mean, maybe walk me through a little bit of, you know, how you're going to take that trade and maybe the risk management along with it. Do you kind of trail a
Yeah.
stop? You know, just walk me through kind of what your process is there and give the people some thoughts on that.
Yeah, just a reminder here. So let me put this purple line as well. Okay, so this action was beautiful as to that this triple support held. So what I would do is, as soon as it bounces here, I would get in. That triple support, as soon as it bounces maybe like 30, 40, 50 points, that for me, that is already a confirmed support.
Okay.
And the stop would be below that triple support, that red one, the blue one, and the golden one. And what I was expecting and hoping for was that purple resistance also to break. So if you zoom in a little bit, if we zoom in a little bit, yes, something like this, that's a standalone resistance. So it's not a part of any channel, whatever. But as you can see, there was quite a few hits on that.
Yeah.
First, second, third, fourth, and then we break out. And later on, the expectation is usually that it comes back for a back test. It's almost like visiting the crime scene. So it comes down. Obviously, if my entry is here, it's quite safe position. And if it touches here and we bounce, and that's what it did there, obviously you can add. But more importantly, the red channels breakout was the very, very confirmation for me that everything is working out and this market is going to make new all-time highs. And that's what we had. As you can see here, it kept on rallying after breaking out of the red bull flag. And it's not as straightforward all the time as this, but this here is in kind of an ideal case because triple supports are not very common. So
Right.
I would rather have it a double support. That's it. But when it's triple support, it makes it much more, let's say, probable.
Yeah, it's a lot of confirmation all happening at one time at one point. So that totally makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, I'd love to, you know, if you don't mind, I'd love to check out a NASDAQ chart if you don't mind. I know this has kind of been a big topic as of late.
Sure.
I think we hit all-time highs yesterday, and we're seeing a little bit of a pullback today. But you know, that's something that's kind of top of mind to me and probably a lot of our viewers. So. You know, maybe just let's take a look at this and kind of what is your analysis on this and maybe a little bit of a projection or what you think is going to be happening next.
Okay, I make videos every morning for my subscribers, and if they watch it, they would know it already.
Okay,
That this
real
green,
quick, where can we find those? Those are just for the subscribers on your website?
Yes, it's so I have a daily video subscription at tradingchannels.uk. So every morning I go through all the indices, forex, commodities, and the cryptocurrencies. It's kind of like a 35-40 minutes video that I cover all these markets, what I'm expecting, where we're going. So that's kind of long term and short term. Usually it's short to medium term, but during the, let's say, inflection points, I also go like zoom out and look at the very bigger picture. Obviously, also based on lines. So the very bigger picture, the lines work long term, like weekly, let's say multi-decade, but also they work when they work. And when I get my probabilities right, or when I take, let's say, see that the market is agreeing with my lines, they also work on smaller time frames.
Right.
So, for example, like yesterday's green bull flag had formed, and the expectation from my was that we are going to get to that blue line, which now is a resistance. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4 touches. That's why we're pulling back from here. This is the high of August. And the previous breakout, I can also maybe show an example. I actually shared it also on Twitter. So this was the beautiful bull flag breakout, this red one that I just showed here. You can see quite a few touches on that red line or red bull flag. And that was kind of giving me a lot of confidence to, let's say, if you look at it this way, first, second, third touch on the top band, first and second. So this 2 touches obviously happened before the second touch on the bottom band. So my expectation would be, as soon as it starts pulling back here, I would put a parallel line. This is where this little trend has started, okay? This is where we made a high. It came down, made a new low. Before it makes a new high, it came down and made a new low, a lower low, but it actually bounced off this here. And then it touched that red top band for the 3rd time. And my expectation was that the moment it breaks out, I'm going to buy this. Of course, after breakout, can it not go and break it down? So this is the thing that, you know, as soon as it breaks out, I may buy it, or maybe I buy at the back test. And if it does break back into the bull flag, that means I'm not right. So you have to get out. Because the formation here was based only on this bull flag. There was no double support, triple support. But also, you know, if you look at it from a long-term view, this purple line is kind of a rail. I'm going to show it. It's kind of like, yes. So all of these, this was the previous, the one that I show you now, right? This is the bull flag, but this is the August low, and obviously every single low has been bought into, and that purple support rail was also my, let's say, it was giving me a bit more confidence about this red bull flag. And after the breakout, we got to new all-time highs, and since then we have touched many all-time highs. So I'm going to show you now a bit more long-term, Ryan.
Yeah.
On NASDAQ.
Real quick, one question as we go into that. Are there certain time frames that you're using? It looks like this is a 2-hour. So, you know, what is there other time frames you use? Do you go up to a daily chart, weekly chart?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Let me show you the daily chart. Obviously, the 2-hourly, I zoomed out and I showed multi-month view, but the daily chart would show me already like the low of August, okay, was captured. So I was kind of anticipating, not really sure, but I was anticipating a touch at the golden bottom band right there. So the gold top band, this is the high of July 23, low of October 23. And then we got to there, and then it was coming down very, very, very fast during last summer. And my expectation was that if this golden support holds, then it should bounce. But of course, I was also looking into very short-term stuff here. Meanwhile, okay, this is the daily chart, and I had already removed a lot of my lines from basically August. But I was also looking into a bit more short-term. So not only the daily chart, like this golden bottom band, but I also zoom in and try to find out also the short-term action and short-term support, which is kind of parallel with my expectation from the long-term line, which is this golden bottom band. And the moment it bounced, obviously it confirmed this golden support. And I was also looking at some overhead resistance levels, and then they broke out, came down, and it kept on going. And it's a bit of a long shot, but I'm going to show you now. The golden top band, if that blue resistance can be cleared, the golden top band is at 23,000. What is it? 23,500 for NASDAQ. So that would be a major resistance, really. If it gets there, I mean, that makes it a target, but not only a target, but also a major resistance. So ideally, we get there. If it gets there. So it's not when it gets there, but if it gets there, I would be a little bit more cautious about this market, because last time when we got to that golden top band, we basically corrected big time. So this is kind of, I look at the long-term lines, but also I'm focusing on, I don't do day trading. It's more of a few days, a few weeks. That's my holding period. Sometimes years on standalone stocks. So at tradingchannels.uk, I also cover stocks, so individual stocks. It could be from mining, like gold, silver mining, or uranium miners, oil stock, tech stocks, obviously, and crypto miners. So that's I started about basically around COVID time. So there was a lot of requests for individual stocks, so I started that as well.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, I mean, it seems like a pretty high goal, but you know what? You never really know.
Yeah.
Maybe the buyers are really
Yes, very
strong,
high.
but we would love to see that. Some of us would love to see that, the bulls out
Yeah.
there. So,
Yeah.
we do have a couple minutes left. If you if there's
Yeah.
anything, that you had at the
Of course.
top of your mind.
Yeah, I had in mind to show some of the examples. So I was like, okay, let's show natural gas, because there are a lot of people who are following natural gas. So this here, for example, is the high of 2023 November, and this green resistance was holding it down. You can see how many touches on this resistance rail. But just recently in November, we broke it and back tested it, and we rallied. And this is the anticipation and when it got confirmed. That's the example, first of all. So the example I would like to give is that the moment it started rallying and broke out and came back, the target for me was the blue top band, because the blue bottom band, you can see here, this is where this side of trend has started. And I said, okay, if we get to that blue top band, we got to be a bit careful. And it immediately reversed there, so which means this is a confirmation of this uptrend, and it's still on. And we pulled back, and I'm going to zoom in a little bit to show you where it bottomed out. So this is again an example of a triple support. So that green one that I just explained, and then it also, you can see the red top band with two touches here. First touch was this one. This is where it topped. So came down without making a new high. It came down again. So the second touch, together with the green back test, and also the black top band and the black bottom band. So this became a triple support. And my expectation was that it is going to rally, break out of the black, and get to the red top band, because this looked like a bull flag. And even the black channel was broken and the back tested while it was filling this gap from Sunday night. And then exactly from this black support, well, previous resistance becomes a support. So it's exactly touched it there. We got to the red top band, and as you can see here, it's clearing that red top band. So the target would be the blue top band again, which would be around 3,800 or so. So this is another example of how different lines, which is denoted by different colors, can act as an indication of where the next major support is. So there is a kind of a correlation between time and price, and I think lines give us the basically a good visual to say where the market or the big money is flowing into. I don't have a mathematical formula for this. I thought I wish I had, but lines are already it gives us quite good indication about where the market is going. So we have, I think, 2 minutes. I'm just going to show you maybe like an oil example. So this is the US oil. So I think we are inside this purple kind of a really large triangle here. And let's put it this way. This golden resistance got tested for 3 times. As you can see, every single touch was causing it to press down. And this purple support, this is low of 21 and low of 23, low of 24. And as you can see, we have been above that all this time. So my expectation would be if it touches that green top band, and which is an expectation because it's not a channel yet. So it has to touch it for the second time on the top band and then come down to confirm it. And then if that purple support holds and we break out, especially if we break that golden resistance, that becomes a major breakout for me. Then you can buy oil itself, then you can buy oil stocks. I'm also checking out oil stocks and energy stocks because they are also forming kind of an consolidation, and it's coming out of, probably are going to come out of consolidation like BHP Billiton, BP, a lot of oil companies, small and big. So and that also kind of supports the idea of a correction and being like close to being over. So yeah, that's how trading channels works in a nutshell.
All right, Burak. How about you? Where can people find you on social media again? Remind us of the Twitter, because I'm a big fan. I love following you on Twitter. So tell the people where they can go to check you out.
Yeah, it's at Trading Channels. So Burak at Trading Channels. And you can also find under the link, you can also find the website, you can find the other like YouTube channel, etc. So, but mainly you can find it on X at Trading Channels.
Awesome. Burak, thanks so much for being here with us. Looking forward to chatting with you again in the future. Thank you.
Thanks for having me, guys.
All of the symbols, trading ideas, and live trading are for demonstrational purposes and are not recommendations or trading advice. Past performance may not be indicative of future results. All of the information and opinions expressed by third-party guests are their own and are not necessarily those of NinjaTrader LLC. Trading futures involve substantial risk and may not be suitable for everyone, and trading futures can result in losses greater than the initial required margin. Traders should only trade futures with risk capital. Risk capital is money that you can afford to lose without jeopardizing your financial security or current lifestyle. You can find additional disclosure information on the NinjaTrader website.